All right, I believe we're streaming live from Grand Blanc, Michigan, on the outskirts of Flint, Lead City. It's time for Monday Night Live with Pastor Dave. Well, we're over here at Pastor Dave's channel too, Trumpet of God Ministries, and I want to start doing more over here, more live streams, and please, we're going to touch on some very interesting topics this evening. So if you tune in late, but Michelle won't tune in late because Michelle is here already. She got the notification. Michelle, you're number one in my book, and you're number one in our live chat room. If you, I forgot what I was saying, if you tune in late and you miss the live stream, watch the video. YouTube automatically. I don't do it. YouTube does it. They upload our live stream to my YouTube channel, so you will you'll want to watch the video, hopefully. And again, this is live, so there's no retakes, and you might see some bloopers. If you guys can only sit in my home when I do my Good Morning YouTube routine, and I come on in the morning, how many times I gotta cut and take and retake and all. I should put together a whole thing of bloopers. But we got Michelle. I did not announce ahead of time, so hopefully more people will come in our live chat room, and we'll have a wonderful, blessed evening. It's been a blessed weekend for me. I got to see my grandbabies, little Lily and Logan. Oh, they're a handful, and I just had a wonderful, wonderful time and enjoyed myself. I feel bad. My son, Sean, he's my middle son. He came and spent the afternoon while I played with the grandkids under the hood of my car that we use for our ministry. And for the last 2 days, I have went everywhere trying to get that thing to stall, and it has not stalled. So, hey, he did a good job. So, oh, I love him. I love him. Oh, my, you got 10 grandbabies. I know you got your hands full. But what a joy, what a joy. And it's so wonderful when they come and visit. It's hard for me. I'm gone all day long, and so it's very, very difficult. But I was going to talk about that too, but let's wait till we get a few more people in our chat room. So Michelle, how's everything going with your family? I've been praying for the situation we spoke about, and I'm still praying and believing. And tonight I'm going to talk about alternative medicine. If we can get a few more people in the room, hopefully, because no one knows that we're going live. Some alternative medicines. I'm just me. I'm unlike a lot of people. I don't follow the what's popular. I don't follow the good. I've been praying. I've really been praying and believing. That's the important part. And what I find interesting is I know Yahweh, Father God, He hears my prayers and He answers my prayers. It's just hard for me when I pray for myself. When I pray for others, if it's His will, and that's one thing I have to stress. Hi, James. It has to be His will. But I've seen some talk about miracles, real miracles take place. Sister Lori, I haven't seen her in a while, but I just want to give some testimonies. My wife is another one with the MS, and the Bell's palsy, but the one that stands out the most, I pray for a lot of people on YouTube, and oh my goodness, the praise reports, and it's not me. It's my faith and my believing, but it's not me. It has nothing to do with me. It has to do with the power of prayer and the healing power of Jesus. That's what it has to do with. But one testimony stands out. Hey, Peter. Pete, and there you are. We're talking about some testimonies over the years. The one that stands out is Lori. She was watching with her family. This is a few years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. She was having pain in her leg, and she was watching the Super Bowl. I think it was the Super Bowl with the family, and the pain got so bad it was excruciating. And This is when she first found out she had a blood clot in her leg, and the arteries were, there was such a blockage that there was no blood getting supplied to her leg or her foot, and they went in and they did a number of tests, and she went in for a surgery, and it was they couldn't relieve the pressure, so they were setting up a surgery scheduled for an amputation. They were going to have to just take her leg and amputate the leg because it was, you know, starting to turn color. And we lifted her up in prayer. I prayed. Let me tell you, I prayed so hard, but knowing that our thoughts are not Yahweh's thoughts, our ways are not his ways. There's a reason, and we don't always know the reason that certain things happen and certain situations take place in our daily lives and in our health. But I prayed, and I believed with everything that I had, and the surgeon that was going to do the amputation was Indian in descent, Hindu. And she was telling him that she believes in Jesus, and he was saying, "Yeah, we know that you're a Christian, but we're doing the best we can. But there's just no blood flowing in the artery. We're going to have to take the leg, and then we can do this and do that and get the arteries all freed up." So they scheduled the surgery. We prayed, and she went in for a pre-op examination, whatever they did, but as the days went on, she started to get the feeling back in her leg, and the pain was gone, and the color was coming back into her foot and her leg, and she says, "This is very strange because I've got a blood clot in my leg, and it could be life-threatening." And she went into this to the surgeon, and he examined her, and he said, "I'm not a Christian, but I want to hear more about this Jesus," because he said, "I'm trained in science and medical science and medicine, and I've never seen this before." What happened was her body, her leg grew a new artery that supplied the blood flow to the leg, to where she still had a blood clot, but she had another artery form and grew, supplied blood to her leg, and they didn't have to amputate her leg. They were able to deal with the blood clot. So that's what I'm talking about. That's miracles, and that's believing, and I believe with all of my heart that God is still on the throne and miracles still happen. That is true. That is true, and she was perfectly fine after that. And we all know about my wife with the 20 lesions on her brain, and they knew, because she just had recovered from a bout of Bell's palsy, where the whole left side of her face was paralyzed and crooked, and it looked like she had a stroke, and they diagnosed her with Bell's palsy. I'm praying for that miracle. Believe me, I know you can't see through the internet and through the computer into my home and my heart. But I'm praying. I'm praying. I'm praying with everything I have. And so they knew, the neurologist told her ahead of time, "You've got multiple sclerosis, MS, you've got 20 brain lesions." That's when she started to look at alternatives, because I've always been into alternative medicine, but my wife goes to the doctor. And I would too if I ever had an emergency, I think. That's right, Carolyn. But that's when she was looking into the ketogenics and the keto diet, and I was drinking my coffee in the morning on YouTube back then. I always talked about double. 2 creams and 2 sugar. I was eating terrible. I was eating sugar like you wouldn't believe. Everything I had to have sugar on it. That's when she started to look at this ketogenics and the ketogenic diet. And like tonight, we had some meat, but no bread and no pasta. And because she knew it would help clear her memory, and that's why she's drinking this coffee now. And that's what I have right here. And It puts your body in the state of ketosis, but it improves your brain fog. It's good for people that maybe through hereditary have like Alzheimer's and things, but it gives you more energy and it's all natural and it relieves inflammation and it clears your thinking. So she started on that, and I did too. Before she went back for the final test, they were going to put dye. They were going to shoot dye into her brain to light the lesions up to confirm the diagnosis that the neurosurgeon and neurologist already knew at the neurology center over here, not far from where we live, neuroscience. She started on the ketogenic diet and cut all sugar and pot. She never ate sugar. I was the sugar hound, you know what I mean? So I went on it with her to help encourage her, and I'm going to get back to her miracle, but let me tell you, if you grew up your whole life eating sugar, I have never taken drugs in my life. Even in this, growing up in the 70s, and I played in rock and roll bands, and my friends, when they did it, I said, you guys go do your thing. But that's just not something I do. But sugar is a drug. It causes cancer. It causes so much trauma to the body. But when I got off, I haven't had sugar now. What is this? Almost April. A year and 4 months. I have been sugar free. But I got so sick. I got deathly sick. I was breaking out in sweats. And I was having sugar withdrawals. I was getting the toxins out of my body, and I couldn't believe that just sugar did that to you. But I've been sugar-free for a year and 4 months, and now I can't stand sugar, anything with real sugar in it. My wife went to Tim Hortons and goofed. Got me, she was so used to my double-double, and this was about a week ago. Michelle, about a week ago, she forgot and got me 2 creams and 2 sugars. And I almost barfed. I'm telling you, I could not. I dumped it out. I couldn't stand. I can't stand the taste of sugar now. Isn't that something? But we prayed for her. We prayed for her on YouTube. When I pray, he listens. I pray a lot for myself. And sometimes I sit back like this and say, Father, Abba, Father, Daddy God, I know you're listening, but you're not moving here. I've got a situation that I'm going through. I need some help. But when I pray for others, it seems like he's right there. And there he is. He's right there. God is on the move. So we all prayed, everyone on YouTube in our family. My wife's got a big family, and we all held hands, and we all got together, and we prayed. And so it come time for her dye to be shot in to light up the 20 lesions to confirm MS, an advanced stage of MS. But they told the family, just come on in with her and sit down, and then when we confirm the diagnosis, we'll let you know how severe this is and what to do. So we went in with her, and my wife met the attending neurologist, not the one that was going to do the procedure, and she said, I'm here just to prove you're wrong, but there's nothing wrong with me. I don't have MS. I don't have multiple sclerosis. And the doctor lady, I remember her, foreign doctor, woman doctor, and looked at her and said, Mrs. Zacker, you got 20 brain lesions, you know. So anyway, she goes back. We're waiting on the bad news, you know, and the actual neurologist comes out and says, I don't know what to say. I just really don't know what to say. She had 20 lesions on her brain. She doesn't have any now. There's no sign. There's no lesions on the brain. There's no sign or symptom of MS or multiple sclerosis or whatever. I can't remember the ALS or whatever Lou Gehrig's disease was another possibility. They sent her away with a clean bill of health. So there's power. There's power in prayer. But we got a few things we're going to discuss tonight. We're going to talk about some alternative medicines first. Then I'm going to talk about the mole people in the city of Flint. Did you hear me? The tunnels, the mystery, the urban legend in the city of Flint of tunnels underneath the city and communities of people living under the city, under the streets of the city of Flint. Then we're going to talk about a black hole sun. What are they covering up? What's going on? What is going on with our sun? Are they trying to hide something? And we're going to talk about that in a moment. But let me get caught up in our chat room. Glenn, Michelle, is sugar-free. Eating cherries for dinner for pain. That's a good, because I have pain. Sometimes I read the scripture and I think of Paul and the thorn in his side. Because I deal with that chronic pain. And it's not about me, though. It's not about me and all my problems. But I do, you know, I have a lot of pain in my life. It is. So I take, I do a lot of natural remedies. Turmeric, or some say turmeric or turmeric, and it doesn't seem to really work for me, though. But doesn't it seem that way, Michelle? When you pray for others, it's the boom, it's right there. But when you're praying about yourself, like, suck it up, Buttercup, Pastor Dave, suck it up, get out there. The harvest is plentiful, and where's the laborers? So, what asteroid? Calm down, get your coffee. Oh my God. I don't know how many were at our last Tiny Chat, but I don't know what happened there. Everyone got booted. Everyone lost connection because I think we were making the devil really mad. We were talking about some pagan infiltration of the Roman Catholic Church, and boy, the devil got mad. And we all got kicked out of there. It does, and then but I'm a strong believer in, because I have chronic pain. I got in later years in life, plaque psoriasis. I have it on it started on my elbow, my left elbow, and then a little bit on my right, and behind the back of my neck. You can see it on my elbow right here. And behind my ears, and that's where it is, and nowhere else in my body, but everywhere I have the psoriasis. Now, arthritis has set in, and it's I got the patch behind my neck, and now I get neck pain. Now I got arthritis. That's but I deal with that. I've dealt with. People think Pastor Dave just spends all day on YouTube, and he's never worked in his life. I've worked. Oh my goodness, what a hard working life I put in my days trying to raise babies and get them bottles and diapers and formula and not take assistance from the state. I've always worked. In my whole life. I remember being young. I had a paper out when I was a kid. Grandma made you work, but I worked in a Admiral Chrome company. I was making furniture. I was running bandsaws and routers, and I made furniture for a living. And then I just worked a lot of physical jobs. But as you get older, I guess time catches up on you. So I was working. I thought I'd go back to school and study automotive technology because I was working in law enforcement, and I was an ordnance officer in the city of Dearborn. I was the head of security for Ford World Headquarters, Ford Motor Company, and Ford Motor Credit, and I wrote tickets in the city of Dearborn, and hey, I'm not making a lot of money, and I always tinkered it with cars, so I got into from security and from law enforcement and ordnance. I went to school. I went back to school, and I studied what was it? Detroit something Institute of Technology or something, I can't remember, and I graduated, and I became a master technician. So I knew what's going on with the truck. I can't bend over the hood anymore and do the work, but I didn't make any money there, and I had a serious injury to my low back. I had a van fall on me, come off the hoist, and herniated and ruptured L4 and L5, so that brought about sciatica, and it's just been one thing after the other. So I deal with chronic pain, but I try to do everything natural. I've never really I wouldn't opt for surgery. That was the only option. I went to a chiropractic care, and they got me out of pain and got me walking again. But I never really had anything serious wrong. Good evening, D9, to where I had to go to a hospital, and I've never stayed the night in a hospital, so it would be all new to me. But I've always tried to do everything natural, except when I was eating sugar. But I want to get your opinion, being Christians, because I'm not sure of my opinion on this. There is a big thing now, and many Christians swear by it, and they will pull out of Scripture. Every plant is for whatever the Scripture says. What is your opinion if you have chronic pain? Not that I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it. It's never going to be for me. But what if you have chronic pain or maybe a terminal illness? What is your thought on medical marijuana? I just want to get your guys' opinion. And in the comment section on YouTube, after this is uploaded, in the comment section, should Christians take medical marijuana? I'm not talking about the Rick Simpson oil right now. We're talking about just smoking the marijuana. And I'll give you my opinion. I just want, should Christians do this or is it causing more harm than good? That's because I don't really know the answer. I don't smoke marijuana, so I don't know the answer. But let me see. Nobody's talking. Oh, it's quiet in here. I don't, to each their own, and that's why I'm asking, because I'm asking the question because I don't have the answer. I don't really know. Green herb as meat to eat, I say fine, not smoke. Okay, and I agree. I don't think you should smoke it. My whole thing with the medical marijuana is whether you smoke it, whether you digest it, eat it. I'm not talking about the oil now. That's something different. We're told to be sober-minded in the end days and to not be like the drunkards, and Scripture's pretty clear. I just can't, and that's why I never took drugs when I was young, growing up in the 1970s, peace, love, and rock and roll. But growing up in a Christian home with a church lady grandma, I couldn't have done it if I wanted to experiment with it. She would have caught me, and I would have been done for. I would have got the lecture you would never believe, and back then you could whip your kids, and Grandma raised us and she whipped us, so I didn't want to get a whipping. But I don't believe that Christians today should take anything that alters their thinking process, the mind. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear, Michelle. Medical marijuana helps. That's what I need to hear, because I need to hear testimonies, because I don't know. Does he take it, does he smoke it, or does he take it in a pill form? Or the Simpson oil? And I want to put this out there too. Stage 4, terminal, that's serious. So, it's not a salvation issue, and God wants us to have comfort and peace in that situation. But what I'm going to get at, because I don't want you to get mad at me, Michelle, because it's not, what I'm saying is it's so easy for people to get these medical marijuana cards, these young people that have nothing wrong with them, and they see a doctor that's like 104 years old, and they just say, okay, don't drive a car. And they're getting marijuana, that they're not terminal. They're not sick, And I agree. Now, in that situation, I agree. I agree. In that such severe pain. But what I'm talking about is people maybe that aren't terminal, like I'm in a lot of pain. I just don't like anything that's to where I don't have all of my faculties, all of my thinking capabilities. So in that situation, it's totally different. That's someone that is terminal. That's someone that needs it, that is in severe pain. And we know the doctor's medicines are not natural and they're addictive, and marijuana I don't believe is addictive, and in that situation it's totally different. Um, and I agree, I'm all for that. What bothers me is too many people are getting, there you go, CBC oil as well. And that's what I was going to say. That I've heard good things about. I've heard wonderful testimonies about that. That's what I say, and I agree with on-call delivery service, James. Non-dependable or responsible if they smoke all day. But if you're terminal, do what you have to do. And Father God is fine with that. I agree. But just to have pain or just to see arthritis like I have or sciatica, that's not terminal. Or you can change your diet. You can change a lot of things in your life. And I'm all for. I've seen wonderful things, Michelle, with the CDC oil. I guess I call it Rick Simpson oil, but I understand there's wonderful things that are coming with that as well. But what I don't know. Some of it does. Maybe Michelle can answer that because I'm being honest. I'm dumb on this topic. D9 says, Michelle, that about medical marijuana that has the THC removed, the ingredient which alters one's mind. I think that's right. I don't know if they do such a thing, do they? I don't think they take the THC out. And it probably, even the smoking of the marijuana for terminal patients, it affects everybody differently. Maybe some it doesn't help and some it does. But I see it abused too. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing young people getting marijuana cards and there's nothing wrong with them. And people growing it in their house and saying that they're caretakers, and you're contributing to you're a legal drug dealer. That's my opinion, but I mean I don't know about so, and not so much the terminally ill, but I think it's being abused just too much. But as far as I don't know how to put this now, alcohol. There you go. Thanks, Michelle. Michelle says the CBD oil does not have the THC. And the THC is what gets you high. Pure CBD does not, but it helps with pain. There you go. There you go. It's the levels of the THC. And I know some states, Washington and is it Oregon? If you have 5 and under, I can't think of how you say it. What's the name of it? If your level is under 5 with the THC, you can drive. You can legally drive. You're not impaired. Now I'm seeing a study. A doctor has come out and saying that it really is not like alcohol or other drugs that you're really not impaired. But I don't know. I don't know what it feels like to be high on marijuana. So I don't know, can you really drive or not? But so some states have ruled that you can drive as long as you have levels 5 or lower. So I don't know. I don't know on that, but I'm just wondering. What makes me mad is they have cures. Michelle, your brother doesn't need to go through what he's going through, and so many other people, and all of us, I think. I had a doctor tell me once, our family doctor, we all have cancer. It's but our body, our immune system, our body fights the cancer cells. And a lot of times when we go to the doctor, a lot of these drugs and chemotherapy, you die from the chemotherapy. And I remember because my mother passed away from cancer, and once you have the surgery and the air hits the cancer, it's like it spreads it like wildfire. I don't know the answers. I'm just pray for Michelle. I pray for you and your brother and everyone that's really suffering. But what I see with the medical marijuana, though, I think it's getting in the wrong hands. It's getting in the hands of young people and that aren't terminally ill. What is everyone's feeling if you're not terminally ill, if you just have arthritis or back pain or some injuries? I don't know. I don't like, you got an opioid addiction going on in the world today, and um, the pharmaceutical companies are making a fortune, and that's why they don't like marijuana, I guess, because they're not cashing in on all of that. But yeah, I'm not familiar with that. I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that. But anyway, we're going to get on to another topic. But I just try to do everything natural. But when I look at the medical marijuana issue, um, I just wonder, is it being abused like the opiates, and it's too easy for um, people to become what they call caretakers and caregivers, and too many young people that don't need it are getting it. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm not talking about the terminally ill. That's what I was saying. Terminally ill. Now we're talking about another whole other topic, but because I see an epidemic of the opioids, epidemic of back with the ADD and ADHD medications, and now the side effects of all these drugs have side effects of the cancers and the brain tumors from the Ritalin and the ADHD medicine, and now the big thing for young people is Adderall, and it's causing them to, their heart can explode. It's just, when is it all going to stop? But I have been fortunate, so I deal with my pain, but I hate to take ibuprofen, but I do. But we're going to go swing into another, I did some research today, because our ministry is focused on Flint, Michigan, and but we go everywhere. We go to Detroit. I did not grow up in Flint, so I don't know any of the rumors and the urban legends that go along with the Flint Vehicle City and the old brick road. I grew up on the outskirts of Detroit, Michigan, in a small little industrial town called River Rouge. Of course, being French Canadian, of course, my family would be from River Rouge. And now, where am I living? Grand Blanc. Grand Blanc. But, and that's about a stone's throw from Burton and Flint, Michigan. But I remember I didn't know much about Flint until I got married. I was doing our ministry in Detroit, Southwest Detroit, Inkster, Werner Highway, Waterman Street, Fort Street, and West Grand Boulevard, and I even worked at Werner Highway and West Grand Boulevard for years, and I've seen so many homeless, and that's where the Lord just kept moving me to help people, and a lot of gang members up in there, and we were pulling them into. I used to have the whole basement, the whole lower level of the American GI Forum Hall and Waterman Street and Fourth Street and Waterman in Southwest Detroit, and we were bringing gang members to Jesus, and that's what we were doing. But I'm trying to read in the in here too, but I'm not from Flint. But now, lately, I have been understanding that people believe that there are underground communities in the city of Flint where the homeless are living in tunnels. And this has been going on for years. Now, I didn't know about this until just a couple of days ago. So I made my rounds and I asked as many homeless people. I find a lot every day. None of the homeless people know anything about any underground tunnels. And I would get the same response. Pastor Dave, do you think if there were underground tunnels under the city of Flint, that we would be out in this field in a snowstorm, sleeping in a tent, freezing to death? Do you think we would climb into a boarded up house with no heat if there was a community of? They never heard of it either. but it's a rumor that's been going on. It's an urban legend, kind of like Bigfoot. I think I've seen a Bigfoot once. We'll talk about that in a minute. But so it got me thinking. It got me digging. And yes, there are people that swear there are homeless people, whole communities living under the city of Flint. So M.Live, it's a Michigan resource, like a newspaper, did a whole thing on it. And here's the problem, and I debunked this because I by nature, I'm an investigator and a researcher, so I had to, how can people be living like moles in tunnels under the city of Flint? And I found out there really are tunnels. Hear me out now. There are tunnels under the city of Flint. So I got a hold of a friend of mine, Dave McKellar, who's a contractor. I know if anyone knew, he would know. And indeed, hear me out, there's tunnels under there. He actually seen one person in these tunnels. But the problem with this is, and the problem of homeless people actually living there, the person he seen wasn't homeless. The only entrance and exit is from the pipe shop in downtown Flint. All of the access and entrance and exits of the tunnels in Flint is all located downtown Detroit. You can get in, or you could get in through the pipe shop, through the jail, through the courthouse, through City Hall, and the fire department. Now the problem with either criminals or homeless people, if they got into the tunnel, they can't get out into a wide open field where no one's going to spot them. They're going to pop up in the pipe shop. That's not going to look very good. They're going to pop up in the jail. They sure don't want to make the wrong turn in that tunnel and pop up in the jail, or the fire department, or City Hall. That's all you need. You go to a City Hall meeting, and here comes 20 homeless people popping up like mold out of a tunnel. But it got blown, the legend, it's an urban legend, it got blown all out of proportion. I'm thinking to myself, there's homeless people in these tunnels? How do I get to them? How do I get to them? But there have never been homeless people. What they did was, back in the day, like the old brick road, they ran, people really couldn't get in the tunnels to, per se, to go from the pipe shop to the jail or to the fire department. A human being couldn't walk that distance. They just made openings in tunnels to lay telephone wire, and then when they needed, they'd pull up the wire. Pastor, it is probably it's probably the rat politicians on living down there. You got that. You got that right. You got that right. But it's an urban legend, and it's been years and years ago that they filled all of, they don't use the tunnels anymore, and they filled them all in and blocked them off, and they're all filled in. So I just wanted to share that. I thought that was interesting. It's, oh my goodness, you know, I mean, here I'm thinking there's people living in these tunnels, and I'm wondering, why are they freezing to death? How many did we lose this year that froze to death? You know? How many last year? The poor gentleman climbed into the bed of a semi-trailer, and they found him in the morning, frozen to death. I mean, if they could get warm in a tunnel. But it's just an urban legend. It's like Bigfoot. But I want to talk about, do you believe in Bigfoot? I got to have some coffee, because I love my daughter and my grandbabies. And now she lives in Utah, but when she graduated college, we went to see her. And we spent that a week at her place. She lived in, not Grand Rapids. Oh my goodness. I'm so tired I can't think. It's on the outskirts of Grand Rapids. But she graduated college, became a social worker. And we were at a campground on Lake Michigan. This is a true story. I got to have a cup of coffee. I'm the one, you got to, I believe in, I can't see them, but I know he's real. But when it comes to UFOs or things, I have to really research that stuff. And I've heard about the legends of the chupacabra, and I've never seen the chupacabra, have you? But I've seen the legends of Bigfoot, and about Sasquatch. It comes back from my Native American roots and heritage. They called him the Sasquatch. And on the shores of Gitchagumi, the Great Lake. So we were on the Great Lake of Michigan camping in a campground, and it was hot. It was summertime, but hold on, underground bunkers. This is a true story. My wife actually believes me. She believes there is some type of creature out there that may be, and we don't know what it is, a demon or what it is. But what about the 3 o'clock hour? What is that? We're sleeping in the tent, and it was hard for me because I had anxiety. I've talked about this before because we were homeless. And a year and a half, we slept under the stars in a tent. We had no home. We either slept in our 1995 Pontiac Grand Am, or we slept in a tent when we could get a tent. But we were out there. I didn't even tell my daughter. She had no idea. She was graduating college, and she just graduated, and I didn't want to let her know. But hey, we're camping over here. We're home. We lost it all, daughter. We lost the house. We lost it all. I don't want to put that burden on her, and because she was just married, but we were camping, and it's hard for me because I was having anxiety. My heart was racing. It was flashbacks to living in a tent. So there was the washrooms and the bathrooms up on this hill. So it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I can't sleep, and I had to run to the restroom. I walk to the restroom. Everything's fine, and I come out and I walk, and there is this. I'm telling you, I don't smoke marijuana. I don't drink alcohol. 3 o'clock in the morning, talk about a wake-up call. All of a sudden, I didn't have a panic attack anymore. I had a fear attack, and we are not to have a spirit of fear, but walking down this hill is, all I can say is this half man, half gorilla. It was hairy, it was hunched over, its arms were so, that's the one thing I noticed. Its arms were so long, and its hands were like this, and its knuckles were dragging the ground. It looked at me, didn't make a sound, and it went down that hill. What do? I'm going to go follow this thing. I'm going to go follow this thing, and I see it skirting away by the water, and I lose track, because we're out in the woods. I lose track of it. My wife, I get her up. Don't wake up the kids. Get her up. And she believed me. I don't know what I seen. It was not a person. It wasn't another camper. I don't know what this thing was, but it scared the daylights out of me. So that's a true story. So I think I really seen a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot. I don't know. It could have been 3 o'clock in the morning. It could have been the anxiety kicking in and not enough sleep, and my eyes were playing tricks on me, but I will never believe that. I believe I seen something. I don't know what I seen. Patricia, what was it? And I don't know. I mean, that's another urban legend, but that I will take with me when I leave this earth, and I'll have to ask Jesus when we get up there, what was it I seen, Jesus? I don't know what this was. So I don't know if it's some type of creature, like the Montauk monsters, or from experiments and cloning. I don't know where these legends come from, but or is it from another dimension, a portal, another dimension that these creatures walk upright, and I don't know. Could have been a pretty hairy man, but he had the longest arms I ever seen, and why was his knuckles dragging the ground? The only thing I seen where the knuckles drag the ground are the gorillas, the great apes. This was not an ape. It was half man and half hairy something. I don't know what I seen, but that's true. But that's true. No bones were ever discovered, and I never was either. I'm a big skeptic, and I still am, but I just don't know what I seen that. And it was on, my wife's on her computer working on her coffee stuff, and I don't want to bug her. But it was on Lake Michigan, up Oh, if I could think of, but it was on Lake Michigan. It was a campground anyway. So it could have been. I don't know. So I thought you guys would find that interesting. But I'll be right back. I'm going to run to the restroom. I'll be right back, and then we're going to talk about what's going on with the sun. What's happening with our sun? If this was Tiny Chat, I could play a Christian video for you. I could play a song, but we can't do that on YouTube because the YouTube police are out in force, and I better not even say any more, or we won't have a channel here. But I'm going to ask the wife where this campground was because I can't think tonight. And did I see a Bigfoot? I don't know. I have no idea. Brother Michael, we're talking about, I think I seen a Bigfoot. We're talking about mole people. You're coming in late. Mole people. People living under the ground in tunnels. Homeless people in tunnels in Flint that I kind of proved to be bogus. It was just an urban legend. And I'm talking about when I was camping, I thought I seen a Sasquatch. I don't know what I seen. But Michael, you're just in the room. I was talking earlier about trying to get everyone's opinion. Now, Michelle's brother has terminal illness, cancer. I was trying to get people's opinion because I don't know much about it. On a Christian's perspective, not so much if you're terminal. I think it's okay if you're terminal. I believe anything that's going to help if you're terminal. But the chronic pain, arthritis, sciatica, other illnesses that bring you a lot of pain, what is a Christian perspective on medical marijuana? So we'll get you guys' point because you came in late. Are you serious? I kind of think Michael probably knows more about this topic than I do, the medical marijuana. I think it can help, but I don't know about the mind altering unless you're terminal. The effect of where you're not using your full. We're told to be sober-minded in these days, and so I just want to get, because I've never taken anything to alter my thinking. My wife sometimes wonders if I have, because sometimes she says, "Honey, you're not thinking real clear," you know. I know, but is he talking about? But he also says to not be like the drunkards. So I don't know. Uh, oh, to eat and not smoke. But I think if you're terminal, you can do anything that's going to help you. What my problem is I think it's getting too many young people are getting a hold of this. Is what I think. Too many young people that are not chronically ill, don't have chronic pain. And I've seen wonders with the oil, with the oils, but I just see too many young people abusing it. I think it's abused. Okay. But if you're terminal, I don't think it matters even if you smoke it because have you ever been in so much pain that you're not thinking clearly anyway? And I think it's a better alternative than the dangerous side effects of prescribed drugs, and they wear off. But I'm not so much talking about the terminally ill. I'm talking about people that may be just like me, with back pain and sciatica and psoriatic arthritis. I don't want to take that. But I think a lot of people are abusing it. Yeah, the doctors came, but the doctors aren't going to do anything about it. I'll be right back, and then we're going to talk about Michael. You might know what's going on with our son. Anybody know? Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I think eating it alters the mind too, though, doesn't it? Your thinking process. If it has THC, it's going to affect your thinking, though. Cramden tea. Anyways, discuss it. I'll be right back. Sun Simulator. We'll talk about. I wish I could get you up here. I get to play with this thing, but we'll talk about that. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. What are we talking about now? Hang on. What do you got in the freezer? Okay. Anyway, it was where I seen something off of Lake Michigan. It was in Muskegon State Park. So if you Google Muskegon State Park, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm all for this, the oil. I've seen miracles happen with the oil, but I just don't know about. My whole thing with being a Christian is the altering of the mind. I mean, unless you're terminal, because painkillers alter the mind. They really do. So I mean, it depends on the situation. But I'm just wondering, there are too many young people getting a hold of it, and they're really not in chronic pain. Because I do my research. I guess you go see a doctor. He's about 90 years old, and he asked you 2 questions, and okay, don't drive. Here you go. I just worry about there's so much young people are getting and adults getting hooked on prescription drugs and opiates and Adderall, and all of this is just too much addiction out there. Sure, if you want to call. I didn't even think about. I'm so tired of that. I didn't even think about that. Call. We'll put you on speaker because we got to talk about the sun too. I'm a little tired. I mean, I use everything natural. Hydrocortisone for psoriasis. I don't know. I'm looking at all my but yeah, I guess we're gonna oh, you need my number. 8675309. No, that's not my number. Hang on. Remember that song? And our call-in hotline is, it's just like the Alex Jones Show. And our hotline number is 248-403-2052. That's 248-403. How many people are watching? 9,009. And I can't go live on Pastor Dave's channel, The Coming Arpazo, because I'm still getting spanked by Google. Google said, Pastor Dave, you're a bad boy. You've been bad. Pastor Dave, you're bad. You speak the truth, Pastor Dave. We gotta silence that. Diane, don't be blue. Hi, Diane. Be purple. We're waiting on Brother Michael to call. Remember the old Saturday, what was that show? 1 ringy dingy, 2 ringy dingy. Biofreeze, I tried that. That don't work. That don't work for me. Only prayer works for me. And when you guys pray for me, I have a good night's sleep. Like tonight, my neck is okay. It's just sometimes it bothers me. I'm rocking again. Oh, who do we got here? Oops, hang on, Michael. There you are. I'm hitting the wrong buttons. I'm really batting 1,000 tonight. God bless you, brother. I got you on speaker. So the whole 10,000 in our chat rooms are going to hear you. You're going to be famous. But, that's only 11 people watching. What? Oh, go ahead.
I used to, when I lived in Colorado, last time I moved out to Colorado, because my brother had seizures. He was one of the 98% that couldn't get the operation for his seizures.
Right.
So I moved out to Colorado to research medical marijuana.
Yeah.
And there's a difference in marijuana. You have what you call the THC, which is the tetrahydrocannabinoid, where you have the CBDs, which is the cannabinoids.
Right.
Now, when you smoke it, that alters your mind. But when you grind it up and you eat it like a pepper, like you sprinkle it on your food like an herb, that has no effect on your body except for like muscle relaxer. It doesn't mess with your mind in any way.
But now for the chronic, the terminally ill, I think whatever's going to help them. And I think God, Yahweh, God is all for whatever is going to ease their time before they come to be with Him. You know.
Well, see, I prayed on this, and I asked God because at the time I was smoking it, and
Yeah.
I prayed on it, and it took me about 2 weeks, and He showed me the verse where, you know, when you smoke something, you inhabit your temple. Like, that's your temple. You shouldn't dirty your temple at all.
Right.
When you eat it, okay, He pointed me, as far as eating it, He pointed me to Genesis 1:12. I'll give you every seed-bearing plant, and I'll go forth and eat.
Right.
So I was able to determine, okay, well, my body is my temple, so I'm not supposed to inhabit it in any way as far as smoking it.
Right.
Okay, but I am allowed to eat it if I sprinkle it on my food like an herb. And like I said, when you
But now that's going to affect your thinking, right?
no, when you eat it, all it does is it's like taking.
I don't know, guys. That's what I said when I first came on. I don't know nothing about this topic a whole lot, you know.
Trust me, I spent 3 years researching this for seizure patients and cancer patients.
Right.
And when I lived in Colorado, I had people coming to me for marijuana instead of going to the actual pot shop.
Yeah.
So.
No, I know Christy. She doesn't like all of us getting all of our information out, but her aunt Lindy is now terminal with cancer, and I know she's been doing the oil.
Right.
So,
now, they do. They have the Rick Simpson oil.
The Rick Simpson oil. Yeah.
Yeah, that is great for people.
So Michelle, pray for our family too. We got, you know, precious Aunt Lindy is.
Right, and you can even use like the Rick Simpson oil and put it in your tea, or you can take the actual bud and crush it up and put it in like a tea bag and use it as like a tea that way.
I believe she tried the smoking of it. She didn't like it or something, but.
Yeah, when you smoke it, it messes with you. It gets you all high up in your mind. But when you eat it or you drink it as a tea, it's just like taking a mild muscle relaxer.
As far as the potency of the THC, it's do they call it? I think 5 nanograms and under, you're not even impaired. You're not even high. And I think it's Washington and I can't remember, Colorado or Oregon, that you can legally drive if you got 5 or under THC in your system.
Yeah, well, you can get, like, when you go to the pot shop, it has a card there, and it tells you the strength of the CBD and the strength of the THC. You can get it with just straight THC or straight CBD.
Yeah.
Usually when you grow it, if your THC is up, your CBD is down. If your CBD is up, your THC is down.
Yeah.
I grew all CBD because I was more into like the seizures and cancer and stuff.
Right.
I had a separate patch, you know, when I smoked it for me, that was high in THC. And like I said, before I came to God fully and gave my life over to Him and became a pastor, I prayed on this because I was using medical marijuana instead of using pain pills.
Yeah.
And, you know, He basically told me, you know, that I could eat it with no consequences. That's why He put it here, for us to eat like an herb. I just couldn't smoke it because I was ruining.
Now, does it have carbs? I can't have carbs.
Yeah, when you go into the pot shop to get it, there's cards there, and it tells you what strain it is.
Oh,
and the strength of the CBD.
Carbohydrates is what I'm talking about. Carbohydrates.
Yeah, right. It's actually good for you, to be honest with you.
As I get hungry, you know, I'm sitting here and not to change the subject, we're just eating meat with no potatoes and nothing tonight. You know, that's what we had for supper. But Christy brings her sons here, and a big double Whopper and onion rings. Like, oh gosh, oh, what I wouldn't give for that Whopper. You know? But I can't eat that stuff anymore. But,
I ate it for a while. I crushed it up and I used it like pepper. And the taste, man, I'm telling you, the taste is just phenomenal. Yeah. Like, I would have kept using it just for the taste alone. I would have kept eating it, but it's still legal here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. It's legal in Michigan. That's why I brought it up. And but what I'm afraid of is too many people getting access to it that really aren't terminal. They're not in pain. You know. So that's what I worry, because we've got just too much of young people doing things they shouldn't be doing, you know.
And that's what it is. A lot of people just use it because of the way it makes them feel. It either calms them down or it lets them escape reality for a few hours, you know. And it's true. I mean, that's why I started using it first, because it was a way for me to go away.
Oh, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of times I want to escape this reality, but I tough it out, you know. I don't drink or nothing, but, you know, a lot of times I tell the wife, man, I wish I drank or I did something, because life is really brutal sometimes, you know.
Right?
I don't got no escape. Get out my motorcycle or something, that's about it, you know.
Well, we are allowed a glass of wine a day. I mean, we're allowed wine, we're just not allowed to get to the point where we get drunk.
Right, right. And I think a little wine is okay for you. I just don't like now beer, I don't like the taste or smell of it. You know?
Yeah, I used to drink like 2-3 cases of beer within like a couple days.
So I used to play music and we play in different bars. I never drank. I just got pop, you know, or water. But them beers in the summertime, them bars smell like a hot urinal, like hot pee or something. I mean, I don't know. You know, it always grossed me out. You ever walk by a bar in the summer and they have the old air conditioner and that smell of that? Ooh, it smelled like a toilet to me. I don't know.
The smell of alcohol just turns me off anymore. I don't. It makes me sick. It does. It really makes me sick anymore.
Right.
That's like people that smoke cigarettes. I'll be walking down the street and I'll smell. I mean, like I can smell the cigarettes on people, and I'm like, wow, I used to smoke them things. That's nasty.
Now, how did you quit smoking? Because that's a drug too. It's like my son, I'm proud of him, Sean. My son Sean, he started using them e-cigarette things, and now he doesn't smoke at all anymore. He's done.
Yep.
He started having my grandbabies. So when he started having babies, he said, "I'm not going to smoke in front of my kids." You know. So.
I went and bought a vape. I started out with a pen, and then I went and bought a mod.
What's that?
I started at.
Maybe that's what he's got. He's got this thing. It's like a box, like a square box.
It's called a mod. Yep.
That's what it is.
I went from 28 milligrams of nicotine down to about 3 milligrams of nicotine, and then after that, I was able to quit smoking. I mean, like, anybody that's smoking, like if you really want to quit smoking, and you just can't go cold turkey,
you gotta want to quit. Yeah. Try the mod. The other things. E-cigarettes don't work?
I mean, they do. The e-cigarettes work, but usually, like, when you smoke, you want that hit kind of like deal. You want to be able to have that inhale.
And that's that little box-looking thing.
Right.
Because he showed me, I don't know, I forget what he called it. It's like a little square thing that you puff on or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little square box with a little, like a little, button, and you hit it.
Yeah. That's what he has, and he did it once, but he really.
To be honest with you, they got a lot of good flavors out there, like cotton candy and glazed donuts. And
can you take that even if you don't smoke?
Oh yeah. Well, see, that's the good thing. They make the juice without the nicotine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can get nicotine-less juice.
Yeah. But now you're kind of pumping that thing into your body, though, into the temple, right?
Exactly.
But it's not harmful. You're pumping that nicotine into your temple.
No, well, exactly. That's the bad point. Eventually, you have to quit because it's ruining your temple. Anything you put into your temple like that will ruin your temple. You know.
Now, I don't have my glasses on. WA, it's hard. I've been smoking for a while. It's very hard. It's probably the hardest thing for a person to give up.
Yeah, well, once you get the mod and you get down in the nicotine level and you go from you're going to start out at like 26 or 28 milligrams.
Them things are expensive, is what he told me. See, I think he said he paid $125 for that thing or something.
Yeah, I bought Sandy one for I think it was like $50.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
But once you get down to like nicotine level 3, you can pretty much just give it up. Like you really don't have that urge anymore.
Right.
So.
Now, not to encourage people to smoke, I never would do that, but one thing, because so many people, a lot of Christians are just suffering with that, and I don't think it's going to keep you out of heaven. I don't think it's a salvation issue. I just think it's... Probably we're going to get a good scolding when we get up there, but I don't think you're going to burn in the lake of fire.
Right. From what I've been finding out through my studies, the basic main part that's going to keep you out of heaven is not keeping God's law, which is the first 5 books of the beginning of the Bible: Deuteronomy, Exodus, Numbers.
You're not talking about burnt offerings and sacrifices, right?
Once Yeshua died on the cross,
that was done away with. That's what I've been telling people, but people just don't want to hear. That's the law. That's the law that got nailed to the cross, is the animal sacrifices and the incense on the altar. And
right, he even tells
but we're still supposed to live right. We're still supposed to fear God, and we're still supposed to not commit adultery and not even look at a person with laws.
We're supposed to keep the 10 Commandments.
The commandments, yes, yeah.
And like the rabbi told me, you're supposed to keep the first 5 books of the Bible. The Torah, okay?
Right.
You're supposed to keep the commandments in the Torah and, walk as God would walk, okay? Everything else was abolished when he died on the cross. The wearing of the different cottons, the blood sacrifices, the offering sacrifices, all that.
Right.
Once he had taken...
Because he became the sacrifice. He sacrificed himself. He took on all of our sin. He was the sacrifice. So no more sacrifices, no more killing animals were needed. He went to the cross. But that doesn't do away with God's other ordinances and commandments.
No, that's why he says that, if you love me, you'll keep my Father's commandments.
Because the church today wants to be like, just say, an entire state. Then all of a sudden they took down the traffic lights and they took away the stop signs. Just lawless. That's the Antichrist, the lawless one. You got to have law and order.
Right. Well, Yeshua tells you that don't think that I came to do away with the law. I came to enforce the law.
Matthew 25. I can't remember what it is. Right. Don't think I come away to do with the law and the prophets.
Matthew 7:15, I think, is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Not one jot or tittle of the law will pass until heaven and earth pass away.
Right. So
and I don't know. Last time I looked out my window, Earth is still here.
It is. Amen. But that's why. That's why I got into reading the Torah, because I found out through the rabbi that that's God's law, and that's one thing that we have to keep is the commandments and the Torah.
Yep.
So,
that's true.
Like I was telling everybody on my devotion today, I found this rabbi, a buddy of mine in school had pointed me to him. His name is Michael Rood, a Rood Awakening on YouTube. And I'm telling you what, you want truth, you want to know about Scripture from a Hebrew, and you don't have to learn Hebrew. Like, he breaks everything down for you in a Hebrew sense way and translates it into an English so that everybody can understand it. And this man, I'm telling you, I just got done watching about the seventh seal and stuff, and how the seventh seal, when he says about the colors on the people's breastplates and the lion, like, he broke it down where it's actually tanks, and the people that are on top of the tanks are wearing the three multicolored colors and stuff. I mean, you would have
that could be, because you hear so many different things. I've heard it all over the years. I've heard that the locusts were helicopters. I heard it all, but then I hear people break it down to where, well, that's not really what it is, and then but I don't know. So I mean, you hear both sides of it. So I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Well, see, he goes, what gets me, and the only reason I'm leaning to it as believing him is because he's reading it straight from the Hebrew language, and every word in the Hebrew language means something. So when he says something and he says the word, he tells you what the word means. And then he reads the Scripture and will explain that word and say, well, now this is what the word means.
Right.
So we have to take it, as the Scripture says, and not as context, not out of context, like everybody often does.
Now, I only got a few minutes left, and Patricia wants to know, what about the sun? What's going on with, not to cut you off, but I think we better get on the sun and the...
Yeah, let's get on the sun. All right.
I think they're hiding something. I think the chemtrails are multi-purpose. They're to make us sick. They're to produce a hologram, or what we would call Project Blue Beam. And they're hiding something's out there, because I know that for a fact. Yep.
If you remember back in, I think, 2014, they had made, NASA made a warning video about preparing for, preparing for what could come. You never know what's going to come.
Yep.
Okay? Not only that, like I told everybody, you got to think of our government agencies. At the top, at the head, we have the Vatican. At the arms, we have HARP and DARPA. And at the feet, we have NASA and CERN. Okay?
Yeah.
And all these work in conjunction to break the veil, to bring the Antichrist through. Right. Now, they need to block the sun out, first of all, because the planet, Nibiru, is blocking part of our sun. Right. Okay? So if they don't block the sun out, we're going to be able to see Nibiru.
That's what I was saying. There's something they're hiding.
Right.
And they don't want us to see this planetary object that's visible with our eyes.
Well, we got Nibiru up there, and then Nibiru has its own sun. So you have both of them flying around, you know what I mean? Which is getting in the way of our sun and moon.
I need to learn how to work this, really do this OBS board. Is that what we call this?
I can get with you whenever you want.
Yeah, because if I knew how, I would pull up a picture that I took 7 years ago. And buddy, there's no disputing. I've got the sun, and right next to it, I've got a planet sitting next to the sun. And I show it sometimes on Facebook. I got to dig it up. I got the picture still.
Nice.
So
well,
there's no doubt about it. The first time I seen a second sun was on the porch of Christy's sister Auburn's house. I was a little depressed and went out there and I looked up and I thought, oh, I didn't ask for a sign, but whoa, you gave me a sign because what is that next to the sun? But I didn't have a phone. I didn't even think to take a picture. But the second time, I got the picture. I got the picture plain as day.
You know. Oh yeah, Plain Truth on YouTube. Yeah. They're catching it. Mr. MBB333, he's catching it. Yeah. There's a couple of people.
Yeah, there's a video around too, and somebody sent me, and I can't think of who this is, and they're right, they're spot on. Let me tell you, because they filmed it. They filmed. You can see this planet. I mean, why are we wanting to go to Mars now and weird stuff? There's a lot of something going on that we don't know about. That maybe we're going to have to get off of here because something big is coming that might take Earth out. I don't know why they wanting to go to Mars. And I think someone already beat us. There might be something crawling around over there or something. I don't know
if you've seen the picture that I posted on.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It looked like a face. You know?
Yeah, there's already things on Mars, and that's why they cover things up to begin with. I mean, I call it a human head.
Yeah, it does look like that. I'm looking in the far upper left corner. It looks like a guy running or something. I don't know.
That's what Sandy said. She's like, oh, so it looks like somebody running.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's the first thing I noticed. Oh, yeah, there's somebody running over there. You know?
But they got to, and as far as the chemtrails, they've got to do the chemtrail for two reasons. One, to poison us, okay, depopulation. And for two, the demons need it to be dark and dreary and moist. They can't handle when it's bright and sunny and hot.
they don't want to be around the light, you know.
Right. So now I think that's another reason why they're trying to diminish our sun. Keep it nice and dark and dreary. And a couple of reasons, brother. A couple of reasons.
I think something's about to. I'm gonna put this out there. Something is going to shake this earth to its foundation in this year. I don't know when, but in 2018, it's all coming. It's all happening. It's all coming down.
I don't know if you watched Richard from Boston, but he just put a movie. He just put a thing out yesterday, either yesterday or today, about Jordy Rhodes, who works for the D-Wave machine, and they are working on helping CERN bring demons through.
Oh, I believe that.
That we're summoning are nice demons and this and that. So they already told you that they're summoning demons.
I believe
they're bringing
that.
them through, and that they've already brought. I think he said they've already brought 3 or 4 of them through. And I'm sitting here thinking, wait a minute, you've already brought demons through, and you're just now telling us?
Right. Oh yeah.
So you put that in conjunction with the chemtrails, the blocking out the sun.
Yeah, something's about to go down. You know, you just know it. But,
you can tell.
Anyway.
You can just look around and tell. I mean, the world's getting evil. Look at all the mass shootings.
Yeah. And then the mass shootings, and then they want to take the guns, and then it's just everybody's lost their mind.
Well, they
Everyone's
take
losing their mind. And Patricia says they're losing their hair. I'm not losing my hair. I need a haircut.
I'm losing my hair.
Oh, yeah?
And I got long hair.
Me too. My hair grows so fast. It's just, I don't know. I just wish it grow. I wish it would grow black again or brown. You know.
Right.
A little too much gray in there. But
Yeah, I know. I'm getting gray too, and I won't color.
you're
my
only
hair.
20. How are you getting gray?
Huh?
You're only 19 or 20. How are you getting gray?
Yeah. God bless you. I love you, Pastor Dave. I wish I was that young.
Oh, well, you married a
I'm
young
like
wife because she's
44.
probably about 19. I don't know. Well, I'm buttering you up or something. No, I'm joking. I need a favor, but no, I'm joking.
So, whenever you want to get with me, let me know. I'll get with you, and I'll do
Yeah,
that.
because like tonight, I could just get over to and pull the other screen up and show you the pictures. You know, it's just hard because I'm so computer stupid. You know, I just don't know what I'm doing.
I think once you understand both boxes and you realize how to do it, it'll be easier on you. You know what I mean?
My problem too is the time. People don't realize. You know, I'm gone all day long, and then my phone's blowing up, and I got to pull over at a gas station and talk to somebody. Yeah, it's just I don't have the energy to experiment. But I love you. I love you, brother. I love everybody. I think we're gonna sign off now. I'm tired, and it's like 10 o'clock
brother,
here.
get some sleep.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna try. All right.
I love you, brother.
I love you too. All right. All right, everybody. It's been wonderful. God bless you. And we're all just gonna pray for one another. And like I said, I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna put it out there. This is the year 2008. Something is gonna happen. Something big is coming, and I hope we're out of here. I really do. I don't want to see what's coming. I love you guys. I'll see you in the morning on my other channel, Pastor Dave's channel, The Coming Harpazo, for coffee. God bless.